Hello everyone, Zero here. This is my very first commentary on a time-lapse video captured from iPad Pro Procreate. I'm super new to this, so hopefully I can bring something even more exciting in the future. And maybe eventually do a live streaming as well. So this is Mulan. I decided to do a tribute art in reaction to the Wreck-It Ralph 2 trailer. She seemed really awesome in a casual outfit. That's something I think everybody loves, seeing the princess in a modern outfit. So, and maybe I might even do other princesses in the future. I'm really tempted to make a series of these. I started out without really having to prepare anything too much. I didn't really go into this thinking exactly in my head how it's going to turn out. That's usually the case. It's pretty risky, but sometimes it turns out really well. In this process, I'll just talk about my more safe approach to art, which is like, as you saw, I scanned in a very rough drawing from a sticky note that I did. It's a tiny sticky note, which forces me to just focus on the overall picture. And as you saw, I did a pass on top of it with really tight line art, really clean. After that, I fill out all inside the line art with a simple masking and separate all the parts: hair, eyes, the skin, clothes, everything just separated, so rendering will be much cleaner and easier. I'm gonna go back a little bit until after doing the masking, I just go straight into the skin color, like giving some of the blushes, coloring the lips, and I will adjust that later on, but I tend to give the warm kind of blush around the eyes, the nose, and of course the cheeks, underneath, everywhere the shadow is. So just think about like subsurface scattering effects, like translucency effects the skin has that makes them really soft. Like this is where I start, base, like a base color, giving some of that soft effect to the skin. And I did the same with other parts as well, other parts that are masked. I throw some gradient colors and values, as you see on the hair, like you saw the dark underneath, and where the form, like giving some of that curve downwards. Even the clothes here, yeah, I'm adding some of the form shadows. This is going a little bit more experimental and less of the way I traditionally approach art. I decided to jump a little bit earlier in the brush strokes and doing painting. Usually I try to do as much as possible, create layers beneath the line art, the clean line art. The clean line art is always sitting at the very top of the layers, because that kind of sets the foundation of the whole image, and I try to do as much as possible before I collapse them all and make some tweaks. But this time I think I kind of went ahead and even started painting on top above the line art. I'll zoom in slightly bit. So you can see some of like the orange brush strokes on the edges of the hair, skin, the face, the jawline, whatnot. That's to give. It's something I've been doing recently. It's giving that subsurface scattering effects. Without that, it feels too artificial. It feels they're too separated, right? The hair and skin, they're too sharply separated, and this kind of helps blend them together organically and naturally. And that's I really like giving that effect. There are probably different ways to do it more efficiently and faster, like using special layer types, maybe moving the layer just a bit diagonally to the right or left, and, you know, changing the color, change the opacity, like that. As you just saw, I'm gonna go back a little bit. I think I was struggling a little bit. I wasn't happy with the way she was looking, so I decided to collapse the whole layer and just try to tweak it until the direction feels better and I feel more confident. But I did struggle a lot here. I did spend quite a bit of time trying to move things around, almost sculpting with the clay, which is scary. It's scary, point in the stage. Once you get it right, it just feels more relieving and much better. I think there's a lot of struggle in any art that you do, and it's tiring to go through it, but it is part of the process. No matter how well you know the process, how many times you've done already, always unforeseen issues that you see and challenges that you go through. I'm gonna dial back a little bit and talk about what I did here. So I think, yeah, I'm pretty confident here. So I'm gonna just continue painting on top of this. So you just saw like a gradient on the face. It was too flat and light. I just added that to kind of neutralize some of the darks that the line art had, in order to give that more softer look effect, especially on the skin. Now I'm trimming some areas, making her silhouette feel better, her proportion. Saw some, rim light on the side. Rim light really helps help the overall character to wrap around. What I did right here, I went back a little bit. A little bit of post-processing right here, yeah. I decided to experiment a little bit right there, right? The purple on the edges of the hair. I switched to more reddish color after that. Seems like nothing much is happening because I think the brush is so small and tiny. It's not really, can't really see the changes. Working on her eyes a little bit more. It's like she got more eyelashes there, and that's where this is kind of the habit I'm trying to have, is not to get focused on one part of the body or one part of the image. because I'm such an OCD type of artist, especially because I appreciate appealing faces so much, really beautiful characters. That's what all I want to work on is just face, and that might be why my weakness is more of expressive faces. I get some feedback, very useful feedback, saying all my characters look too similar, or feel like they're doing the same thing. It's I totally understand it, and that's something I need to try to break away from, and prove that I can. That I think that's a perfect way for me to grow. But I have to admit I can't help it. But what I try to hold myself accountable is, not to get just too laser focused on the face, but really take care of the rest of the image too. See, I added more lights hitting from the side. It just adds more realistic effects to the character form, and it prevents from the whole image looking too two-dimensional. This is a technique I use on Procreate. I didn't really discover it on Photoshop, because Photoshop is so flexible and has so many tools. I think so many sometimes useless tools. Like right here, you can see on the side of her cheek, I kind of filled it in, blocked in the white, and what I did was I erased with a soft brush to give kind of erase away, knock it down, the opacity, and make it softer. And that is a technique I've been using here. On Photoshop, I would have probably used lasso tool, selected it, and throw some soft light in that lassoed shape. It is a little bit more difficult to do that with Procreate and more time consuming or less fun. So I decided to just try making just a rough, really solid shape with a pen brush tool, a pen brush. After that, I erase away. So block in, solid, erase away, block in, solid, erase away. It's time consuming, but I think it feels fun. It gives really successful effect. I'm gonna dial back a little bit since these go really fast. It's hard for me to cover everything. The dragon, I kept it pretty rough. I didn't commit at too much detail. I don't think that's because it's more of a tertiary detail. The main focal point is her face. I grabbed an image of, I think, Hong Kong. I'm not sure where, but I grabbed an image from the internet and just placed it on the back. Rather than, I guess I could spend time and paint it all, but this is more of a process that concept artists and the movie industry uses in order to sell the ideas. That's what I did here, is drop an image, Gaussian blur, perspective blur, and added some noise. And the last thing I tried to fix was her folds on her arm. That was a little bit difficult to figure out. Folds are always really hard. Folds, hands, anatomy. Pretty much it. Otherwise, I kept the atmospheric effect around her. Also, the little like specks around her to kind of give the depth of field, really help complement with the blurry background in the back. It's nice to give some kind of foreground element to give that depth of the overall image. Thank you so much for joining me in this commentary. I hope you enjoy seeing this video with the voice commentary. I will be making more videos like this in the upcoming contents. Feel free to reach out to me what you guys thought about this video. Any suggestions are always welcome. Until then, thank you.